Good afternoon, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are in Bristol today. Looks like fabulous weather, doesn't it? We are off to the Isle of Man, which is a airport with a very short runway, about 1600 meters. In fact, I can't think of a runway that is shorter. What's Gibraltar? I'm not sure if it's it might even be a tad shorter than Gibraltar. I may be wrong there, I would have to check, but it's definitely a nice short runway. The approach is well known for various gusts and things as well. Captain's only landing usually. So yeah, this could be fun, something we've not done before. No official start either, so we're going to have to make our own way in, setting things up. But what fun! And of course, for those of you that aren't aware, SimSmart is now released to the general public. You can grab your copy of that by checking out the video description, and there's a link in the video description down below, hopefully, if I remember to pop that in. We've not flown now since last Thursday, so it's always strange when you do loads of streams, loads of flights, day after day after day. It becomes a nice habit, nice nature, which of course can be a bad thing. And then suddenly, when you do one after a while, you start to think, "Oh Lord, what does what do all these buttons do?" So it's going to be nice to get back in the flight deck. So welcome on board. Tuesday afternoon stream for you guys to today afternoon. Nick, Dr. Magic, Mark, Christian, Paul Newman, good evening of course to you down in Australia. DC Gert, Captain London, hello. John Laws Aviation, hello. And Airstream, Ace Airstream, and Peter Scarab, good afternoon to you too. John Aviation, the airport Bristol is by Pilot Plus, I think it is. There are that many mods now available. My memory is shocking for trying to remember who it is that makes all of them. Yeah, I want to say it's Pilot Plus that makes that. So let me just go ahead and clear the flight boarding soon. It will be boarding soon, but let's get rid of that text. There we go. Yeah, so definitely looking forward to this flight. I like going to new airfields and airports that we've not done before and featured before here on the channel. The Isle of Man only has domestic flights. EasyJet fly from Liverpool to Isle of Man, which God knows how long that lasts. That's probably about a 20-minute flight, very, very short. They also fly from Manchester, and I think there's one more. I think Gatwick. They'll probably do Gatwick as well. Right, let's get on board. So our aircraft is set up in its turnaround state, as would be expected for this time of day. And let's go ahead then. The operational flight plan is already pinned for you guys watching on YouTube. Hello to our Twitch viewers. But YouTube, it's already waiting for you. Let's go ahead and check the weather. So we've got QNH currently here in Bristol of 1011. Dr. Magic has been a member for 12 months, 7 months, more like a strange anyhow, loving the flying. Oh, Dr. Magic, thank you for your support during that time. Yeah, so we have got a few clouds, 1,600 feet, broken 3,000, wind is 26018. It's always windy here at Bristol, so we can expect perhaps a little bit of wind during the takeoff roll. On the Brecon 1 X-ray departure, let's go ahead and have a look at the operational flight plan then. Tom3112 on Twitch, thank you for following. So low flight level today, as would be expected. Howling Crazy also on Twitch, good evening mate, or good afternoon rather. Flight level 220, headwind of 27. We're going to be, as I say, departing runway 27. Let's go through. Plug fuel is about 4.3 tons. Let's just go down then and check. We shouldn't have any terrain to worry about on today's flight. So at our destination, ceiling is 2,000 feet. Visibility is fine. Oh, that's what we like though. I said a moment ago Isle of Man could have some interesting winds, but look at this. we have got a 0 crosswind component. No excuses now if we don't have a nice landing. So that's quite nice to see. Let's just go through. We can check the alternates as well. So the alternate is here back in Bristol because it's only 44 minutes flight time away. If we had to turn around and go anyway, we might as well bring the passengers back to where they started, hadn't we? Peter Scariff, good afternoon, mate. Hope you're not working too hard. Thank you so much for your kind super chat there. Toga Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be Toga today. But that was a thing for a while, wasn't it? Toga Tuesdays. But if we were departing from the Isle of Man, then absolutely it would be a Toga Tuesday. I've got the flight the wrong way around, haven't I? But I thought we'd like to see a landing coming into the Isle of Man because it's a little bit different. Right, so yeah, Toga Tuesdays needs to be a thing, doesn't it? We'll have to see if we can adhere to that in future. So yeah, apart from cloud base is 2,000 feet. That's no issue. Well, but the weather is looking grand. No real reason why we shouldn't be able to get in there at all. Let's just have a look at the forecast for the Isle of Man. So what's the date today? It's the 5th, isn't it? So that's currently, and forecast is 24018. Yeah, so yeah, a little bit blustery, but nothing really that's going to give us a terrible crosswind or anything daft like that. There's no real reason why we shouldn't be able to get in. In fact, the weather in Manchester looks worse. Looking at that forecast, there's more text. If there's more text, it's got to mean it's worse. And I can see things like showers of rain and reduced visibility probabilities. So yeah, Isle of Man, we should be fine. Let's just go through and check. Daily dual runway operating. Oh yes, Manchester have reopened their second runway today, haven't they? Now, if only the passengers actually trying to get through Manchester could meet their aircraft in time. It's all in the news at Manchester Airport. So many passengers missing their flights due to delays and security and things. But yeah, they've now got both active runways working again at Manchester. So hopefully that is a sign of things to come with more and more people going away on holiday. Right, let's just get through to the bottom, have a look at any Sigmet charts. Although there's nothing there, it's lovely. Right, so I can't think of too much of a reason to take loads of extra fuel with us. 4.5 tons. Yeah, with plug is 4.3. Let's go with 4.5 tons. Where is our fuel on this new display? There it is. So 4.5 tons, and we'll get that loaded in. Right, ground crew are loading the fuel. Let's get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Christian, is the Isle of Man motorcycle race starting again, or is that why we're flying there? I have absolutely no idea, Christian. You're talking to the wrong guy. Mark, you'd love it if HD is real word procedure on a Tuesdays. Yeah, it was just Toga Tuesday. Nelfane back to normality again after we've tamed the SimSmart beast. Yeah, it's been a very, very busy 48 hours, but hopefully those 48 hours have resulted in you guys getting the software, so that's nice. Hazel Jane, congrats on the release of the performance calculator. It's an extremely nice tool. I wish I could fly Microsoft Flight Sim right now, but I'm having some FPS issues. You're not sure where to start. Hazel Jane, I would imagine if all else fails and you can't think what other possible reason it is, then the installation of the sim. That would be my last resort. Lachlan Mitchell, you live on the Isle of Man. Well, I hope it's nice there. Right, so APU is available and running. Nice. In that case, might as well get the APU bleed on. There we are. So refueling's underway. APU is, in fact, refueling's completed. APU has started. Let's check the overhead. Overhead is all good for the moment. And check the center console. Set that squawking 2000. There we go. Everything's where it should be. Flight deck doors are currently open. Right, I think in a moment or so we'll be about ready to start letting some passengers on board. Let's just get the constraints on there. Our initial climb today is going to be 6,000, so I might as well set that as well. Alright, Good stuff. We're good to go. Let's start setting up the box. Is that APU bleed on? Yeah, it's been on for... let's call it a minute. I am a little bit pushed, or not pushed for time, but aware of the time. I've got the school run to do today, so let's get the packs on, and we'll tell the crew they need to start boarding our passengers from Bristol. Danny, the packs were off just whenever there's no passengers on board. We don't have the packs on. But now, due to COVID, whenever passengers are starting to board, we need to get the packs on, of course. Right, so passengers will start boarding now. Let's just come down here and add that passenger weight as well to our aircraft. So that is done. In the AOC menu, weight and balance, 162. Right, let's go through setting the box up then. We will do our ACARS init request. Alternate is Echo Golf Golf Delta, back where we started. Call sign today, Easy62 Victor Hotel, not the worst call sign. Cost index of 45220. Our temperature, according to the OFP, is, hang on, let me bring that over here, then you guys can see this as well. There we go. Right, so what's that temperature? Is -31. We'll just get this set up and then I'll come back to the chat. So -31, Tropo is 36494, not a million miles away there actually. And then we'll do the flight plan. Oh, I tell you what I didn't check. Yeah, not the 3nav green. Is the AIRAC cycle still valid? Yes, it is. I couldn't remember when the AIRAC cycle next needed updating. We've got a couple of weeks before that. Right, so departure is runway 27. It's the Bravo Charlie November 1 X-ray. And get that in. Just check for any discontinuities. No, good. The arrival at the other end then is going to be the ILS 26. No stars available. Have we got any VIAs available here? Right. No, we'll leave that as no VIAs. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'll show you the chart in a minute. We're going to set... It's only a very short cruise, so I want everything set up before we go. I don't want to be faffing about. We're not going to spend very long at cruising altitude and things like that, so we still need time to brief. Let's have a look how we're going to fly the arrival. So the arrival in, here's what my plan is. The arrival will be... we're coming in via Kelly, and then when we're 13 miles from the Isle of Man, we're going to fly this 8-mile DME arc. So if we just have a quick look as we go through, yeah. So there's Kelly, and then there's the centre fix and final fix, etc. So from Kelly, what I want to do is I want to add in this DME arc. We're going to do this here on the ground. So the Isle of Man, so that's the place. The bearing is 126 and the distance is 13 miles. That will go there. That's our place bearing distance 1. And then we are going to fly to... well, actually, we could probably just pop this one in here rather than programming in a full DME arc. But let's do a distance of 8 miles from India Romeo Yankee. So, India Romeo Yankee. The bearing on that, we can call that 111. And a distance of 8 miles. There we go. Now let's just come have a look at the navigation display and see how this looks. Let's scroll through that. That's not too bad. And then obviously we come around here and then we'll come and intercept come intercept the ILS. The only concern I've got there is that looks like quite an acute angle to come in, because it isn't an actual DME arc as you can see, but by this point I'd be happy, if need be, just to pull it out of nav and pop it into heading mode, just so we've got a nicer ILS capture. It's quite a low platform altitude as well, I think. What is it? Yeah, 2,000 feet. So yeah, that forms part of that 8-mile DME arc anyway. So there we go. I'm happy to leave that in nav, and then we'll come in. We'll be nice and slow by this point as well, so it's not going to be a complete hard left bank to come and intercept that ILS. All right, so I'm happy with the flight routing as well. Right, so that's our flight plan page set up. RadNav page then for the departure. Let's just bring this back over so we can all see. We'll pop in the Bristol NDB, just in case, BRI. That goes in down here. And that's the top one, of course. And onto our init B page. So our zero fuel weight, according to the operational flight plan, should be 59.3. Just chuck in the normal zero fuel weight CFG. There we go. Trip wind is headwind of 27. Fuel planning 4, and we're taking, was it 5.5? 4.5. Takeoff weight then of 63.6, and fuel for the alternate. Let's have a quick check. Alternate is 1 point. Oh, look at that. That's almost back as the crow flies. Let's call it 1.5. We'll round it up. Gives us an extra 40 minutes of flight time. Right, onto the performance then. So SimSmart is now available for you guys to go and buy if you want it. Now it's been released on Sunday. Link is in the video description if anyone wants to go and grab that. Echo Golf Golf Delta is Bristol. Departing runway 27. Grab the METAR. Runway condition is dry. Anti-ice will be off. Takeoff weight, it was 63.6, although we don't burn fuel in the APU at the moment in the fly-by-wire, so let's be conservative and call it 64. CFG is forward, flex, config 1, and calculate. There we go. Right, let's get these in. So 133. Not a huge runway here either, is it, at Bristol? 136. 140. Clear speed is 215. Transition altitude is 6,000. Thrust reduction acceleration is 1603. And the engine out 1603. That's going to be flaps 1, and the flex is 59. There we go. Alright, happy with all that? Let's start the brief. So we've already spoken a little bit about the weather here in Bristol. It's fine, isn't it? Our takeoff weight is below the maximum landing weight, so no issues getting back here. As we can see, let's just brief that weather properly. As we can see there, few clouds, 1,200 feet. Wind is 260 at 20, so that has increased slightly. So we're probably going to feel that as we take off. If there's a little gust, might just come and pick us off. The wind is coming from the left as we depart. It's almost a headwind, but coming from the left. The aircraft is the experimental version of the A320NX from FlyByWire. No note times to be aware of, and the threats at this airport. We've just briefed the wind. Bristol is of course on the top of a hill, so we just want to be aware of that as we're rolling down the runway and departing. Our initial climb out, then let's go through and see how we're going to do the taxi. So we're going to go full length departure, and then that's pushing back from stand 6, pushing back facing south, and then we'll taxi to Zulu and Alpha for runway 27. Just check the departure. What have we got? Initial climb is 6,000 feet. No speed restrictions. Wonderful. Okay, how many passengers we got left? Because I think we're pretty good to go. 15 passengers left. Come on, guys, get on board.
Hi, yeah, we're just about finished setting up, so once everyone's on board, we're happy for you to close the doors. Thanks. Oh, and once we get to cruising altitude, if I could have a cup of tea, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Boarding is still underway, but we're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
Right, well, so whilst I'm waiting for those guys to finish with the cabin, we'll just check the fuel is loaded and balanced. Yeah, that's all okay. Alright, so before start, checklist to the line. So our cockpit preparation is complete. Our signs are on and auto. It is, we've got the 3 nav green, that fuel quality is 4,500 kilograms, balance FMGS is set, altimeter is 1011, that's 610 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our EasyJet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
That's great, thank you.
Let's get the ground crew to pre-plan the push. Then I need to check as well, we're also on the Unicom frequency. There we go. Happy with that. So we'll request the pushback. We can close that while they do their thing. Oh, where are you going, Mr. Tug Driver? Have we got a learner truck driver today, maybe?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation up here. The cabin crew are making their final detailed checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our EasyJet Sim Pilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
My ground crew don't seem to want to be taking it fair. Let's just cancel that pushback and then see if we can get them to do that again, shall we? Not quite sure what's going on there. Let's try again.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Once they're all in place, then we will make the call on Unicom and run the before start checks below the line. Quite a short taxi as well today, so something else to bring into our brief.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. We are cleared for start and push. Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Okay, 122.8. Bristol traffic, easy 62 Victor Hotel, pushing back from stand 6, facing south.
Please release parking brake.
So we'll get our beacon light on. Notable steering's in the green.
Please release parking brake.
Transponder. And before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors are closed and armed. Beacon light is on. Mobile phones on silent. Parking brake is set. Let's release the parking brake and push back.
Parking brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence. It will start in the sequence.
Okay, back we go. Engine APU bleed is on. Engine mode selected to start and starting engine 1. Oh, the police are coming. Did everyone else see that? Are they playing chicken with a 65-ton aircraft? Ooh, there's a lot of EasyJet aircraft over there, isn't there?
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you.
Parking brake set.
In an emergency, leave
Ground.
all
Startup
cabin
is
baggage
complete.
on
You may
board.
disconnect.
Your
Roger.
seatbelt
Good
is
engine
fastened,
start. Clear to disconnect.
adjusted,
See you at the
and
side.
released
Have a
as
good
shown.
flight.
It must be
Holding position,
fastened when the
waiting for the
seatbelt
visual.
signs are
Thank
on,
you and goodbye.
and we recommend that you
Okay,
keep it
starting
fastened
engine
at
number
all
2.
times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket
Is it
from
just me,
under
or is
your
that
seat.
tug
Put it
driver
over
kind
your
of
head.
bouncing his way
Pass
back to the
tapes
terminal?
around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
So just waiting for engine number 2 to stabilise. There we go. Alright, so engine mode selected to normal. APU bleeds off, anti-ice not required, APU is off. On the spoilers, rudder 0, flaps 1, and the trim setting. How to start checklist. Anti-ice is off, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 25.1 and rudder is 0. Flight controls check while stationary. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. Okay, as I said, it's very short taxi straight down here to the left and behind the tail of this company aircraft. That is Bravo. We're not taking that intersection departure. We're going full length today. I'm going to do the PEDS check as we get going on this little straight bit. So let's announce our taxi. Bristol traffic easy 62 Victor Hotel taxi now via Zulu to holding point Alpha X-ray on Alpha for runway 27. Okay, so no change to the performance. It's going to be Flex 69. Engine out procedure here is non-standard actually. It's 2,500 feet. We make a left turn to the Bravo Romeo India NDB, enter the hold there. Inbound track is 090. Departure is the Beacon 1 X-ray, and our stop climb altitude is 6,000. Before takeoff checklist to the line, flight controls have been checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flaps config 1. Takeoff, FMA and takeoff data 133 blue, 140 magenta, climb nav blue, 152, 6,000 blue, and flex of 59. Just get this turn, then I'm going to tidy the ECAM up. There we go. Okay, so we've done the FMA takeoff data. Transponder is set. ECAM memo takeoff no blue. EFB is stowed. We just need to get the weather radar on things on. I know they don't work, but we'll turn them on anyway. And we're just going to hold here. One of the reasons we also briefed that it is a short taxi. There's a lot to do on this short taxi run. Oh, let's get weather radar 1 on. Right, there we are. I've not heard any other traffic coming in, so I think we're good. Bristol traffic easy 62 Victor Hotel lining up runway 27 for departure on the Beacon 1 X-ray. Before takeoff checklist below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS TA RA, packs are off, anti-ice off. Does it really go as uphill as this at Bristol? For anyone that's done it in real life? There we go. Okay, final paranoia check. Everything's good up there. Everything's good down here. Let's get to the Isle of Man then, shall we? Oh, I'll tell you what I've not done. Self-loading cargo. If only they could link the sitting, telling the cabin crew to get ready with this button here. That would be quite nice. Bristol traffic easy, 62 Victor Hotel, rolling runway 27. Okay, takeoff. Start the chrono. 50% N1. Engine stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS and runway. That wind coming in from the left. Checked. V1. Rotate. Runway track, that's not correct. Nav, that is.
Gear up.
Gear up. Didn't mean to zoom in quite that far just then. Okay, set climb thrust. Thrust climb. Climb. Autopilot 1 engaged. The V-pilot noise you can hear, I'd still not had a chance to update the Sim Connect, so I think that's what's going to be causing those errors. And I'll get that back on now. Anti-ice can come on as we start to head through this cloud layer. No ATC around, so let's go ahead. We're going to select our initial climb and go all the way up to flight level 220. So we're now in open climb. 220 blue. Oops, why we're not... there we go. Didn't quite pull the standard button correctly. That's better. We'll get through the cloud layer before releasing the cabin crew and turning those seatbelt signs off. Hey, it looks a lot nicer up here than it did down on the ground, doesn't it? Now, I've not flown the sim since Thursday. A lot of people have been saying that we're getting a lot of sort of micro stutters and FPS issues recently, with no real rhyme or reason as to why. So we'll see how we get on. Turn the screens as well, that brightness up now we're above the clouds. Okay, let's release the cabin crew. We can get rid of the anti-ice for a moment as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
And we're passing 10,000 feet. And Skylane Marty on Twitch, thank you so much, mate, for the tier 1 sub. Really do appreciate that. And we'll just check. Yeah, flight level 220, no problems for us today. Go ahead and clear the RadNav page out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Danny, you say that the stutters are called by the EFB. I have just turned that off, so I'm wondering if there is a bit of a lag in performance caused by that. You're not the first person to say that actually today, Danny, so I'm sure the fly-by-wire guys will get that sorted. Yeah, look at that. We're going to be at our cruise in around just under 15 miles according to the level off. What was HD's record for reading cruising altitude? Does this one count if it's below 30,000 feet? Blue Bidden, my eyesight, mate. My eyesight is below standard, sadly. And it doesn't get better with age. So you may notice as well, I've just also popped in the Isle of Man VOR. We'll pick that up all in good time. Nick, HD's causing trouble in the SimSmart cabin. I wondered why he'd gone quiet. Oh, that gives me something to read later on. A little bit of a bump there as well. That's a nice view. The rolling green countryside of Wales beneath us. Short flights like this are usually the most intense because there isn't much time to do lots of stuff. Oh, welcome back, HD. How you doing, mate? ClickC420, there's a video on the channel which shows you my graphics settings. And they're still the same as the last one since Sim Update 7, I think. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and check those out. There we go, we've picked up the Isle of Man VOR already. So, as we're only about 1,000 feet away from our cruise, I want to now have a look at when we're going to start our top of descent. ClickC, I don't have a video on the PC specs, but if you check in on the About page for the YouTube channel, I think it's in there. There we go, so that's speed, Alt Star. Oh, and Nick's just called the Nightbot as well, so there you go, there's the specs. Thank you, Nick. And Alt Cruise. Right, let's have a look how we're going to approach this then. So, when we're 30 miles at from the 30 miles from the Isle of Man, then I think, let's work out, we can get down to 2,000 feet from leaving this point. Dun, dun, dun. Minimum hold is given by ATC anyway at Kelly. Kelly's 70 miles from Isle of Man, and if we're 30 miles from Isle of Man at that point, then, well, realistically then, I think as we're going to start slowing down and configuring, if we aimed for probably around 4,000 feet at this Isle of Man distance 13, sorry, then that would make good sense. Enter destination data. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and send off a weather request. I'll do that while I go and tidy up and set up the box for the arrival. So weather request, go ahead and send that off. So on the flight plan page, at place bearing distance, I'm going to go and I'm going to pop in a constraint then of 4,000 feet here. Let's also think about the speed we want. We definitely want to be sort of green dotted by this point. Let's go in and put 200. That gives us a chance to be flaps 1 and flaps 2 as we go and get the ILS in. So speed constraint of 200. There we go. Is that saying we're going to meet those as well? It says we're not going to meet the speed, but we are going to meet the altitude. That's okay, that's good enough. CI26, I'm going to go ahead and edit that. That should be 2,000. Oh, it actually says above 2,000. I'm going to go ahead and hardcode that in at 2,000 and a speed of 180 knots. There we go. Right, let's get the weather, because the McDo's going to keep screaming at me until I've entered it in. So, messages received on the METAR. What have we got waiting for us in the Isle of Man? Wind is 250 at 16. Temperature 11 and QNH is 1005. So let's go ahead and pop all that in. Visibility was good, so it's going to be Cat 1, of course. It can't be anything else here, actually. Temperature is 11. Wind 250 at 16. Transition is 3000. And decision height is, correction, decision altitude is 233. There we go. Right, box is all set up for the arrival. And if I was to manually work out whereabouts I want to start my top of descent, so what did I say? I'm aiming 4,000 feet at that 30-mile arc where that starts. Well, we're at 22. So top of descent is probably around 55, 6. Call it 60. We've got headwinds as well. Call it 60 miles away from the place bearing distance number 1. Now here's a good question, and I don't know if HD knows the answer to this before I attempt it, because there's going to be a 20-second delay. I'm going to attempt it anyway. Place bearing distance 01. Can I put that in the progress page? Does that work? Place bearing distance 01. Aha! It does indeed. So I'm not going to put an arc around that, but I am just going to keep an eye on it, because we've obviously got our top of descent marker given here. When I see that approaching 60 miles, I know that's when I want to start going down. our flight route today as well, in case anybody was interested and hadn't seen it. So up right through Wales, north to south, and then we fly over Liverpool, or Wallasey to be exact, before heading out over the Irish Sea.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Oh Lord, I've just logged into Discord. Okay, I need popcorn for that. I'm going to sort that later. I'm going to concentrate on the flight. X7-240, any plans for Simtronic to be expanded to other A320 variants in the future, like the Phoenix? Well, given that the Phoenix is going to be high fidelity payware, I would imagine the Phoenix will come with its own. So I would, I don't see any particular scope to update that. Who knows? Maybe we'll. Maybe we could potentially look at expanding it to the Airbus family. The 19 and the 21, but it won't be anytime soon. Danny, is there a reason they keep you so low for cruising for the domestic UK flights? That's the reason. It's to keep you out of the way of all the jets going over the top, over to Ireland and obviously America from Europe. Lots of traffic up there. It's quite busy airspace, the UK. Lots of traffic sort of bypassing the UK, going over the top. A little bit of turbulence there. Alright, let's do the brief. We haven't got long. So the plan is, as we know, we're coming in via Kelly. I want to be 4,000 feet at this point here. We're going to be green dot by this point here. As we start the descent down to 2,000, we'll get flaps 1 out, and then it's going to be a nice short final, flaps 2 with the ILS, getting down to platform altitude of 2,000 feet. Go around is nice and straightforward. We fly to the continuous climb to 3,000 feet, initially climb straight ahead to 2,000, and then left to the locator at 3,000 or as directed. So yeah, essentially we'll fly up to 2,000 feet. And then we'll get ourselves back and fly to the Ronaldsway initial approach fix. That's an NDB as well, isn't it, that? What else? Let's have a look at what's happening after we have landed. So we are, this is a short runway, isn't it? 1,837 metres. That's the length of the runway. That's not going to be the length that we're allowed to stop on, though. Let's have a quick look at the... Where's the minimums going to be? Is it on here? Or is it on here somewhere? Let me zoom out. Oh, here we go. So, runway 26. How wide's this runway? 46 metres. We've got 1,613 metres. That is not a lot of tarmac. So, we'll use auto brake low, and we can look at rolling out to the end and taking Alpha. Although Alpha looks quite small. Is there anything on here that says Alpha's unavailable to us? Let's have a quick check. All stands are marked nose in, pushback except stand 3, which is self-manoeuvring. Arrival all aircraft should insert the extended runway center line at minimum range of 2 miles. It's going to be more than that. And must not descend below PAPI indicated approach. That's interesting to hear. Can't see anything. General floodlighting. Wind shear exists on short final runway 08. Not taking that one on. Crew departing 21 should be aware kite surfing. Okay, well I can't actually see anything saying that we're not able to take Alpha, so we'll roll to the end. If we can get off here, great, but I'm anticipating rolling to Alpha and then coming back on Alpha, taking Bravo, and then coming to the apron. HC says, have fun attempt landing on runway 21. It does seem a strange configuration of the airport. Because what's the MSA? Oh, it's not actually as bad as I thought. So as we're going to be coming in, it's 2,600. Just as we're on the final approach, it increases ever so slightly to 3,200. But that's okay. We should be nice and safe over the Irish Sea by that point. C says the ground controls just come online at Isle of Man. Oh, I wonder if they've seen us coming. My VATSIM's not actually picked that up yet. Yes, HD, we may be a little bit too fat for that one. William, you were going to hop on ground control, but at the Isle of Man there is only a tower. Is there only one controller there? Oh, okay. Right, let's see where our top of descent marker is showing. To be fair, this looks quite accurate. This top of descent marker. We're going to be 60 miles as the crow flies from that first place bearing distance. We're currently about 65 miles away of it at the moment, as you can see. So that top of the descent marker looks pretty good, to be fair. So I hope you've all had a nice relaxing Tuesday so far. A reminder, of course, if you don't already know, SimSmart, the A320neo performance calculator, is now available, and you can go and check out the video description, buy that at simsmart.uk. And there is a dedicated SimSmart channel on the Discord server as well for anyone that's got any questions. Crack verse 24, the zero fuel weight centre of gravity on the init B page, you can just set to like a standard, which is 30. I've got traffic beneath me. Can we see it anywhere? Oh yeah, I just saw it just there. I don't know if anyone else saw that just before it disappeared. Hang on. There it is. I wonder where he's going. Is he going into Manchester? He looks big. What's that? I love the way that the strobe lights are actually bigger than the aircraft itself. William, when the Phoenix comes out, will I be switching to it? I don't know. Switching sounds very definitive, but I'll definitely be flying it. Yes, absolutely. And then you really have to be on the ball because things can go wrong in the Phoenix. Look at the ripples in the Mersey down there. Is that the Mersey? I would imagine so. Okay, 10 miles. We'll start at the top of descent. How are the constraints looking? Not looking too bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear, the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our EasyJet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to use managed descent and we're going to get down to 5,000 feet then. So let's ping that now. Speed, descent, and we're going to pull standard as well. In fact, no, we're not. Transition altitude is 3,000 feet, so we're going to leave that. Let's get the standby in. 1005 is the QNH, I think, at the Isle of Man. There we go. This may be one of the shortest flights we've ever done, but it's nice to do something where the workload's a little bit higher than normal. And it's not a straightforward arrival either. Let's just move that out of the way. So now we're just looking to see if it's actually going to meet the VDEV, which just seems to have got away from us a little bit. I think the FlyByWire has been updated a little bit. You can see it now. It's starting to accelerate down towards the top of the magenta gate. JJ, yeah, Amsterdam to Norwich, very small. Stansted to Amsterdam as well, also a very short flight. Slowly catching up with the VDEV. We can see the intercept is... what I don't want to see is the intercept getting away from me. So I'm also now looking at track miles to go. Track miles to go is around 40, about 46 miles to go. Track mile wide, so I don't think the profile's too bad. We want to be sort of 30 track miles at around 10,000 feet. Bear in mind we do still have to slow down. It's catching up quite nicely to that profile now, isn't it? This is looking much, much better. Jeff, do I think there would be any value in having a physical USB controller for the autopilot with knobs and so? Oh, absolutely, definitely. My current setup, I don't have space for one, but if I did, yes. Now look at that, we're only 500 feet or so above the profile, and that's coming to meet it really nicely. I was sort of edging towards destroying some fairies, but I think we might be okay. We just need to level off to slow down in a moment. That's the thing. So I may still need to do that. Yeah, so I can't remember if I'd shown you this before, HD. It is there, so we can see it. Christian, you are right. I think you need an actual load sheet to know the zero fuel weight centre of gravity. I think HD will confirm that, and of course we don't have that. And I think I'm right in saying that before you've got all the load sheet and everything, you just enter in 30% anyway. Right, so let's I'm going to pull speed now. I could have left that in managed speed actually, but we're going to set that to 250 knots. Bleed that speed off as we come to 10,000 feet. We'll get the lights on. Anti-ice is coming on as well as we go to head down there. And if we remember, we said it was going to be, what were the clouds? I think it was 2,000 feet, wasn't it, scattered? Down there. CACWORS 24, remember the zero fuel weight on the init B page, if you're doing it automatically, you need to make sure your aircraft is fully loaded with all your passengers to get the accurate value. Okay, so I've just confirmed activation of the approach phase. We've got around 27 track miles to go. About 900 feet above the profile at the minute. PM's just done a great job of reminding me about that auto brake. We did brief it, but would be useful if we carried it out. That decel point looks a little bit better. I'm probably going to activate that a little sooner, to be fair. Right, so let's see. I want it to be green dot by this point, so I'm going to pop that back into managed. I am just going to kill a few fairies to get us down there. And then we're going to continue the descent all the way down to 2,000. So I could leave that in managed, and then QNH is 1005. So 4,000 magenta, because we are constrained by this point. Well, actually, we're not. That's where it's slightly off, because that's a constraint that I've put in. So we can pop that into open. Those displays do come bright, don't they, when whenever we go through a cloud layer. Okay, happy with the profile. Let's get the speed brakes away. Just beat HD to get in that LS push button on. Always fun. That looks a lot neater as well now, doesn't it? Doesn't quite look quite as abrupt. So let's start configuring flaps 1. Speed's checked. Flaps 1. Roll that speed back. Oh yeah, HD, it was just by about 5 seconds. And I'm going to pull flaps 2 here just to help us get down. So flaps 2, speed's checked. Flaps 2. Still hold 180 for the moment. Down we go.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
And if it looks like I'm not going to be down in time, what I might do is we may just pull heading and just go over to the right and just extend the sort of downwind a little bit. In fact, it's just coming to meet us now, look, we can just see that. Okay, so I'm going to arm the lock. So we've got lock blue.
2,500.
Radio altimeter is alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated
7 mile
with your
final.
seatbelt fastened, ready for landing.
Lock
Please
star.
help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets
Nice.
are no longer in service.
Oh, that actually does look like the Irish Sea. It's cold and horrible. Looks freezing, doesn't it? Alright, let's start configuring then, shall we? So, thrust to managed gear, spoilers. Flaps 3, speeds checked. Flaps 3. Glide slope start. Isle of Man traffic easy 62 Victor Hotel established runway 26 5 mile final. And flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed, go around altitude 3000. Set. Ecam memo, landing no blue. So we said it was going to be, at the time of departure we had a dead-on headwind. That looks like what we've got. That'll help us slow down. Just very quickly. Doesn't that look grand? So good.
$1,000.
1,000 feet. We're nice and stable. So, happy with that. Let's knock off the autopilot. I have control. What was it said on the chart? Do not descend below the pappies. We've not done the Isle of Man before. This is the first time on the channel, so nice to showcase that this afternoon. 500 feet, approach stable. That wind's just swung a little bit coming from the left.
400.
And as you can see, that's why we're a bit off centre. Let's get it back on.
100 above. 300.
Roll her back out onto that centre line.
Minimum.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And spoilers are deployed. Reverse green. We've just disconnected the auto brakes because we're actually rolling out quite nicely there. Let's vacate. Didn't even need to roll all the way to the end then.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
This is free custom scenery as well for anyone who wants to go and grab it from flightsim.to. And it looks quite good, doesn't it? Looks really good, actually. So welcome to the Isle of Man, guys. Let's see if we can park the aircraft nicely. Let's just get the I need to turn the taxi lights off before we blind the ground crew, but at the moment I'm got the mouse panning around. There's no ground crew there to meet us, so they've still got their retinas intact. There we go. Great stuff. Let me just turn that off there. Parking brake is set. Lovely. Let's get that APU bleed on. External power is also available. Shutting down engine 1 and 2. Fantastic. Oh, a short but sweet flight today, guys. So thank you so much. Hope you have enjoyed that. Please do leave a like on the way out, and of course remember that if you haven't yet got your copy of SimSmart, this is now available to go and grab from the simsmart.uk website. Link in the video description. And if you want more information on our Discord server, there's the dedicated SimSmart channel as well. This is really nice scenery. I tell you what, that was a nice approach. I like that approach. HD will confirm this. I think, is it captain's only landing as well at this airport? Presumably because of the potential for the wind, and it is, of course, a short runway. But yeah, this is a great little bit of freeway scenery. I do like this. And on weather like today, when you got it was rather blustery. But yeah, scenery's good. Oh wow, we've got the jet center hangar as well. Oh, really nice. Might be some Easter eggs knocking about. And I don't mean the chocolate kind. Although Easter is just around the corner. It is school holidays. Although not for us. Our school holidays begin next week. Is it captain's only takeoff as well? Oh, wow. Must be serious. Beautiful. Right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's flight. Really enjoyed that. This airport is fun in max crosswinds. Oh, I'm sure it is. Maybe next time. Maybe next time the wind won't be quite as nice. Hope you all have a great Tuesday, whatever it is you are doing for the rest of the day. For those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel during today's stream, thank you so much. To HD, as always, for his invaluable input. And to the EasyJet SimPilot channel members, thank you so much for your continued support. It's been great to be back here after a few days away, sorting the SimSmart release out, but slowly but surely we should get back to more regular streams. Look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you all on the Discord. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.